I've been living with HIV since 1995. During those days it was terrible because we didn't have assistance like we have right now from America. But now I'm okay, I'm living happy, I'm taking my drugs every day.
This is Donald G. McNeil Jr. reporting from Uganda. Every member of the Stigmaless Band is HIV positive. Antiretroviral drugs paid for by the United States and other donors are keeping them alive.
For you, American people.
But the battle against AIDS in the Third World is beginning to fall apart. Millions have been saved, but the money is running out. While middle-income countries like India and Brazil may be able to save themselves, the future here in the heart of...
Huge percentage of them in Africa. Well, now another report is out, published by the Black AIDS Institute. It's trying to raise awareness about the AIDS epidemic right here at home. And it says AIDS in America today is a black disease. According to the report, as many as 30,000 new HIV infections occur among blacks each year. And this is startling. HIV/AIDS, the leading cause of death among black women aged 25 to 34. Dr. Sanjay Gupta joins me now here in studio. I mean, this is incredible.
Africa looks bleak.
I found out I was HIV positive after I started falling sick. My husband had died some time back. After he died, I started falling sick and went to the hospital.
Dinavance Kamukama came to stay with her cousins in Kampala, hoping to get free treatment. Her kidneys are failing. She's so weak she can barely walk.
HIV positive.
So why
there
not use a condom?
There is no reason of using a condom. Once I am HIV, I am dying.
So you prefer to take more people with you?
That's the thing.
Don't you have conscience? Can't you think that you are destroying the world? You are sinking Africa. You're killing more and more innocent people. And those people that you sleep with without condom,
okay,
they go and sleep with more and more people. Don't you have conscience? Are you crazy? Have you got sisters?
We have.
You have sisters?
Yeah, having 2 sisters. Of course.
You have 2 sisters. What if other men, knowing that they are in your situation, come and sleep with your sisters without protection? How would you feel?
If he is HIV positive
and you didn't tell your sister,
yeah,
and sleep with her, how would you feel?
Nothing.
This is what it really means to be living with AIDS in Africa.
Her time is running out. But the hospitals here, even the one where her cousin works, can't take on any new patients.
When they tested her, they found she was HIV positive, and they told us to go for what? ARVs. But they could not provide them. And when you move around the clinics, they need what? They need money, which is not there.
Donors pay for 90% of drugs in poor countries. Almost all are bought through PEPFAR, which was set up by the Bush administration, or through the Global Fund, which is international. But the Global Fund is having trouble raising money, and the Obama administration is concentrating its foreign aid for health on problems that are cheaper to treat, like malaria, pneumonia, and diarrhea. More lives may be saved for those taxpayer dollars, but it means PEPFAR's budget is no longer growing. Uganda has...
and the homeless. It's 1.1 million people living with HIV/AIDS in the United States, and more than 56,000 new infections occur every single year. Some communities still experience unacceptably high rates of infection. Gay men make up 2 or 3% of the population, but more than half of all new cases. African Americans make up roughly half of all new cases. Nearly half of all new cases now occur in the South. And a staggering 7% of Washington, D.C.'s residents between the ages of 40 and 49 live with HIV/AIDS.
Has been hit hardest, ironically because it did such a good job of getting lots of patients on treatment quickly. It's the first country in Africa to reach its limits. It will not be the last. Dr. David Apuli, Uganda's top AIDS official, divides the epidemic in Africa into 4 decades. The first was death everywhere. In the second, drugs were discovered, but only available in rich countries. The third, coming up to the present, was the decade of hope. Donors stepped in and made drugs available across the continent. How the fourth will be remembered is being defined today.
So if you had 10 black men, and I'm not just talking about like from here, all over the country, of those 10, how many of them would you say are gay, bisexual, or other?
Maybe like 2. Out of 10, I believe 6. Total of 3? I say 2. 3 or 4. At least 4 to 6. 5. 3. 5 of them on the dead. So about 6 out of 10. I say at least 6 or 7 out of 10. Yeah. 6 or 7 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
You're seeing in Uganda the tip of the iceberg of what we expect to see in the countries. It is a dilemma in this fourth decade. For all of us, we are in Uganda, the American people, the global people. What do we do?
Money is not the whole problem. Science has failed too. No AIDS vaccine is on the horizon, nor is a microbicide, nor is a female condom that women will accept. And people have also failed. Not enough are practicing A, B, C. Abstain, be faithful, use a condom. Or the new fourth C, circumcision. For every 1,000 people put on drugs, 2,500 are getting infected.
In spite of people seeing a lot of people dying and a lot of suffering.
New epidemic that is sweeping across AIDS-ravaged South Africa. It's an epidemic of drug abuse, and the cheap and powerful drug of choice is the very medicine meant to keep AIDS patients alive. In many cases, the United States has paid for these AIDS treatments, but now dealers and addicts are fueling an underground drug market. Jim Shuto reports from Durban, South Africa.
Suffering with AIDS, people have kept on, they have not changed their behavior, and that's why they are still dying of HIV/AIDS.
At the Bwindi Community Hospital on Uganda's mountainous border, the drugs didn't arrive until 2007. But in 3 years, the hospital has gotten them to thousands of the local people, even into pygmy settlements. But now they're running out.
A man called Western New York's HIV predator will soon be set free. New Sean Williams was scheduled to be released from the Wendy Correctional Facility tomorrow, but that has been delayed until later this month. He caused a firestorm back in the 1990s when authorities say he infected a dozen Chautauqua County women and a 13-year-old with HIV. He pleaded guilty to statutory rape and reckless endangerment. Williams has since changed his name to Shaitik Johnson and also got married while in prison.
Your move.
I think we have to give antiretrovirals to people. We have a moral necessity, really, to give life-saving drugs that are available to people who need them. But you do wonder what's going to happen if these drugs get stopped, because from a sort of medical point of view, there will be problems with resistance, huge problems with drug resistance, so that if they ever get started again, we'll have double problems, really.
Worldwide, the numbers are grim. About 33 million people are infected with HIV. After a Herculean effort by donors, led by the United States, only about...
It turns out that black men who are gay or bisexual sometimes decide to hide their sexual preference. Keeping homosexual or bisexual activity a secret is called being on the down low, or DL. The term refers to a man who presents himself to the world as straight, but has sex with other men and doesn't tell his female partners about it.
Alarming rate. Rather than talk about it?
It has been my experience that that's what's going on. Even though I'm living a gay lifestyle now, I was married for 16 years and had infected my wife, and she felt like she couldn't go to her family to tell them. So for 16 years, my wife just went through this denial and shame, and she didn't want to take her medication, and she passed away last year.
4 million are on treatment. Even under optimistic fundraising projections, by 5 years from now, only about 10 million will be treated. That's not nearly enough. New research shows that treating everyone as early as possible could lower infection rates, but that idea is frighteningly expensive.
It is very sad that people have to choose
what should or should not kill patients. You can't say AIDS is killing patients, but it is.
I would. I got his name on me right there. Come on, baby.
While Precious and Marquise freely admit to having a sexual relationship in prison, Marquise says he prefers women.
I'm in prison. There's no women in here, but there are men that want to be women, so you know I have to deal with it while I'm in here. I'm straight. I mean, I like feminine men, so you know, however you want to look at it, as you call it, being a homosexual, you being gay, you know, everybody has a different word. But as far as in here, you know, he's a woman and I'm a man. So.